Hello guys, welcome back to the Malena Edit. We are jumping into our Wildcard weekend recap. Fun set of games, lots to talk about here. We're gonna jump right into them. Starting things off with the Indianapolis Colts at the Buffalo Bills. I was on a plane during this game, so I wasn't able to catch the whole thing. By the time I got into my apartment, I'd seen like the end of the fourth quarter and kind of caught the final few minutes of the game. I see that Buffalo won. Now I've rewatched up until the first half of the game. And what I've seen through the first half is that Indianapolis actually had a really good grip on this game, winning the field position battle, huge for them, controlling time of possession, it looks like. I think Frank Reich had a really good game plan there, playing keep away with Josh Allen, not getting his hands on the ball. Obviously, Buffalo made some adjustments in the second half to win this, so I'm excited to see what those adjustments were. But overall, progress from this Colts team. I think they found their momentum in that nice swing towards the end of the season. I thought they were going to maybe go a little bit deeper in the playoffs, but had they not faced such a tough Buffalo team in the first round, they may have. Really good looking team. Expected a close score between both of these teams because they were both so good and really finding that sweet spot at the right time. I cannot wait though for this weekend when Buffalo takes on the Baltimore Ravens. I'll let you know how I feel about how they played through the second half when I preview the divisional round. The next game of Saturday afternoon, we have the Los Angeles Rams at the Seattle Seahawks, starting with LA. Not surprised by this performance one bit. If you guys saw my preview, I did say I thought this was going to be the upset of the weekend, and I definitely thought it was going to be most credit to that Rams defense. That's exactly what we saw. My question here, John Wolford started and then had the neck injury, so then Jared Goff went in. But Jared Goff was playing decent enough. I just thought that was interesting that in the playoffs, they didn't just start Goff if he was healthy enough to play. I don't know, I'm still kind of questioning that. Outside of that, they were able to get the ground game going, which was important because they have so many question marks at the quarterback position there in LA. Cam Akers had himself a nice day, credit to his O-line, but this defense just lights out, frustrated Seattle the entire day. Keeping an eye on that Aaron Donald injury. I'm sure he'll get things going though for the divisional round. I can't see a guy like that staying out unless, his arm is like falling off. But yeah, speaking of that defense, frustrating Seattle. DK Metcalf just throwing fits on the sidelines. Kind of understand it though. It's really frustrating to see that you have capable pieces on offense and you can't move them at all. I'm not sure if that was great defense from the Rams, which obviously that has a lot to do with it, but also how much does play calling for Seattle play into that? I'm definitely curious to see maybe what happens there. Russ was not cooking like he was in the beginning of the season. Saturday evening, we had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Washington football team. Tampa Bay, pretty much what I expected. They really showed up. I feel like they were able to stop that Washington front, especially because of how much they expected it. You know what the talent of this Washington football team is. So you can pretty much focus your game plan on stopping the front, and then everything else can kind of be secondary, is the way that I look at it, because their strong suit is there. Their strong suit is their defensive front. Once you stop that, you can kind of flatten out everything else. That's exactly what this Bucs team was able to do. As far as the Washington football team, though, their offense had a little surprising addition there with Taylor Heineke coming out there and just made himself some money for sure. He will be a nice backup, can live up to a big start like that in the playoffs. I'm sure that guy is going to be paid really well. Montez Sweat, another piece that really stood out to me in this game. We talk so much about Chase Young, but Sweat can't be forgotten in that mix of talented defenders there. Very curious what direction this Washington team takes in the offseason. I imagine that they're going to go for a veteran quarterback like a Matt Stafford or a Matt Ryan. Is just my assumption because of where they'll likely be drafting. I don't know. Well, you have Zach Wilson and Trey Lance might fall to one of those later teen spots in the draft. Definitely a lot of excitement there, though, that I'll be keeping my eye on because this team is a step away from being really talented. On to my personal favorite game of the weekend, the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Tennessee Titans. Was so happy to see Baltimore get this win. We can kill the Lamar playoff narrative now and move on to some other exciting topics. A lot of credit to this Baltimore defense. Clearly, shutting down Derrick Henry was a big part of the game plan, and they did just that. Then outside of that, they showed up on some critical plays. I think of Deshaun Elliott with that great PBU on Jonnu Smith late in the game. I remember when they said that he was going to be the guy replacing Earl Thomas, I'm pretty sure. And I was like, who is this guy? Is he ready for this moment? And he's lived up to it in the playoffs nonetheless. And then, of course, Marcus Peters with that game-sealing pick. He just he's practically a wide receiver. He just finds the ball. It's so amazing. On the offense, I was really excited to see Hollywood Brown stepping up in this moment. I knew Lamar would need his receiver to do something, and he will continue to need him if they think they're going to see some rings in the future for Baltimore. But that was really exciting. I was really happy to see him step up on critical plays there. Lamar Jackson obviously getting comfortable using his legs again when he needs to, still able to throw the ball. It was just everything you wanted to see from this team. Perfect matchup, though. Really exciting game. And then, of course, on the Titan side of things, it was pretty much Arthur Smith versus Wink Martindale. Really, really fun getting to watch all of those things kind of play out. And then, of course, A.J. Brown, just an insane piece. I can't wait to continue watching this guy play. The afternoon slate on Sunday, we had the Chicago Bears taking on the New Orleans Saints. And, of course, I watched the Nick broadcast, and I'm really glad that I did because I think otherwise this game would have been like a snooze fest. So it was nice to have like the fun, the excitement of the Nick broadcast to lighten things up a bit. I really liked it. I thought it was enjoyable. I do think they need more slime next time. Like, you should have slimed the whole Saints team. I don't understand. You missed, you dropped the ball there. But hopefully we see more broadcasts like this and they kind of just expand the fan experience, especially with this change of us being home so often. It'll probably just change the landscape of how we watch games. So that'll be exciting, something I'm keeping my eyes on. Couple notes for both teams. For Chicago, cans, burn the whole thing to the ground, start over. I don't even know. I don't know what they're gonna do for quarterback there either. Similar to Washington, they're not picking early enough to definitely get a top guy. So maybe they'll go vet. No idea. Very, very curious to see how that pans out. Allen Robinson, run for your life. Please go to Baltimore. Thank you. And then the whole Bears defense, while we're at it, they also deserve a new home because unfair that they have to play that hard to, anyway. And then for the Saints, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, what does he say? He's got to be talking about people's moms on the field. Like, moms or girlfriends or wives are being mentioned because his own teammates throw punches at him. Javon Wims in the last game, Anthony Miller in this game, just insane. I mic him up. Or don't, because that would probably get people in a lot of trouble. As far as the rest of the Saints play, they always do this thing where they win in really ugly ways. Like, they eke it out, but you're like, what? I don't trust you. I don't know that I trust them down the stretch. We'll see this weekend, third matchup versus the Buccaneers. I'm very curious what direction and how they look on the field, but I would not be surprised also if they get their acts together and just put up a 50 burger and look amazing, because that's what the Saints team is. It's so strange. I don't know. For the nightcap, the Cleveland Browns at the Pittsburgh Steelers. What a game. Cleveland showed up. I loved that. It was so awesome to watch, impose their will from jump and just, I was going to say didn't let up, but they let up a little bit. And, I'm sure Cleveland fans were nervous, but they got it together. Those running backs are insane. Nick Chubb just crowned the man. He is so good. Just overall a clinic. In the trenches, they won the battle so on both sides of the ball. I think that was probably crucial to their win. I feel like a lot of people are going to say, okay, they can lean on the run game, but Baker won't be able to do it with his arm. And I just disagree. I completely disagree. I think Baker has shown us that he can live up to the moment so many times this season. Namely, I think it was like week 13 or 14 versus the Tennessee Titans, where he really showed up and looked so good and was able to throw the ball around. I think that this Browns team can win either way, and this was just the way they chose to win and game plan for this week, and it worked out well for them. As far as the Steelers, what happened on defense? Like, they just looked stunned. Like, they had no idea that they weren't going to be able to tackle people. Like, they were like tackling like bars of soap out there. It was crazy to watch. Yeah, so that defense really didn't show up in the way that I expected them to. And then, of course, Big Ben, 4 picks is going to be hard to come back from in the third quarter. It was like mid-third quarter when he was able to get that touchdown pass to Eric Ebron and, you know, orchestrated some drives looking like the Hall of Famer that he is. But it's hard to recover from 4 picks. That is it. That's all I've got for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know some of your predictions for the divisional round weekend. That video will be posted on Thursday. I am so excited for these games. I mean, it's playoff football, so of course, all the teams are good. Everybody looks, you know, fun and exciting, like they can make it to the Super Bowl. We get to see the top dogs back on the field in the Chiefs and the Packers. Should be a good weekend.